Hi everyone, welcome to my advice channel and let's begin with today's questions. How do you deal with a partner who, when upset, becomes spiteful or tries to upset you back instead of communicating? If this is a pattern, you should leave your partner. Communication is an important key factor in a relationship, and if he or she is unable to communicate in a healthy manner and resort to emotionally abusing you, then you will be miserable. How do I become an athletic person? Like, how do people just exercise every day and stay consistent? I want that mentality. It just seems like a lot for some reason. I get overwhelmed and just can't stick with it. I used to be like you. What motivated me was learning more about how important and crucial exercise is for the body and all the benefits, both long term and short term. I would start off and commit to 15 minutes a day and increase the time every few weeks until you reach your goal. Why would a group of random older folks start making fun of me? I started working in a restaurant and I was cleaning up menus from the table when I overheard a table of maybe 50-year-olds mocking me and saying stuff like, "This job is my life," and dumb stuff like that, all looking at me and laughing. I didn't give a reaction, but clocked it in my head. I left the area and went into the kitchen. Nobody was around when this happened, and somehow another one of the servers asked me what happened despite me pretending like I didn't notice them and didn't give a visible reaction. I said, "Oh, I don't know, a group of people just trying to make fun of me." She just looked at me a bit stunned and didn't say anything. It was extremely weird, and now I'm spiraling because I don't know what the heck that was. Unfortunately, mean people exist everywhere and in every age group. I would let it go and not let it get you down, but if they ever return and repeat their disgusting behavior, I would tell your manager. How to know when your marriage is broken forever except cheating? First, I'd like to say before giving up, I do think both parties should try their best to make their marriage last if that's something they both truly want. It takes patience, change, and effort. If all that fails, then the best thing to do is end the marriage. So, with that being said, it depends on the dynamics of the marriage and how much things have changed from how they were in the beginning of the marriage compared to how they are now and the length of time it has been occurring. When there is emotional indifference, for example, when you have stopped fighting because you no longer care to fix things and make things better, basically, when you have given up. When there is a lack of communication, for example, if you only interact when it comes to discussing the kids, if you have any, household chores, and bills, without any emotional connection or physical intimacy. When there is a lack of respect, kindness, and concern. And also when you are leading separate lives, not showing any interest for each other. I've been thinking about ending my friendship with my best friend for the past 2 years and even more lately. I do love her, don't get me wrong, but I feel drained. A lot of our conversations revolve around the same issues with her partner, and I feel like I'm hearing the same story over and over again. I've gotten to the point where I just listen without really listening, and that's not fair to either of us. She's a great person, very blunt, no filter, but I've slowly been distancing myself because when we spend time together, it always goes back to the same problems. If I say how I feel, I'm the bad person, so it feels like I can't win. I'm not someone who likes arguing or confrontation, and she's very much about proving her point and having the last word, which is hard for me. We've been friends for almost 30 years, and yes, I would miss her. Her kids are my godkids, and now that they're grown, it makes things a little easier if I do decide to step away. She says I don't make time for her, but I was at her place last Friday for a girls' night, and we went dancing a couple of months ago. It's not that I don't care, I just don't have the energy for the same conversations anymore. A little context. Her man is a narcissist and manipulating. He always finds a way back in her heart by saying things. She knows all this about him, by the way. They dated briefly back in high school, and after she filed for divorce about 7 years ago from her husband, her and narcissist boy rekindled. His baby mama plays a factor in their relationship as he doesn't put his foot down with her. His daughter would disrespect her too. Why? Because daddy doesn't know how to be a father. I'm a witness to it all. She loves him and tries. He doesn't care to change, nor does he put any effort, and somehow she's the bad guy. I don't mean to rant, I just needed to get this off my chest. I would never end a friendship of 30 years unless my friend actually did or said something really hurtful. If a friend needed emotional support, I'd just be there for her, but that's just me. I do understand how frustrating it can be for you when you cannot voice your opinion and she turns you out to be the bad guy. Maybe you should tell her how you feel so she's not always discussing him. Maybe you're just not the kind of friend she needs and vice versa. But instead of cutting her off completely, I think you should keep minimal contact and hopefully one day she will realize how unhealthy her relationship is and leave her partner. And that way, your friendship with her can improve as well. Today, I would like to end with the following quote. In a racist society, it is not enough to be non racist. We must be anti racist. Angela Y. Davis. Thank you all for watching. Until next time, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and please pray for all those here and across the world who are suffering due to oppression, injustice, and abuse. God bless.